tonight. If you got the book of Revelations, let's go with that. But we'll get into that a little later on. In chapter 21, because we've only got about a half an hour to go here. And I want to get into this latter part of chapter number 21. And as we begin to look at this and begin to understand, we're going to finish up a good portion of this tonight, I hope. And, well, I don't hope. I just want us to understand it. And as we begin to go down through it, and I'm going to clear up your mind just a little bit, I hope. And Brother Jake, I hope you can help me clear up my mind just a little bit. All right? The earth as we know it right now will not be an earth as you know it in the world to come. This earth as you know it is going to be gone. There'll be a new heaven and a new earth. All right, but the atmosphere, the sphere that as God is going to create is not going to grow weeds and thistles and tomato plants and okra and all of this stuff. Because you're going to have a different body. So, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, nor entered into the heart of man that which God has got laid up for them that love Him and look for His appearing. Amen? All right, now if somebody needs to stop me, I want you to holler, whoa. All right, we understand each other. Amen? All right. All right, when we get, all right. So God got here. He said, now, I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with man, and He will dwell with them, and they shall be His people. And God Himself will be with them and be their God. And God shall wipe away what? All tears. I know we got farther down, but I want to go back. I want to go back. I like looking in the rearview mirror just a little bit. All right. Wipe away all tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain. For the former things are passed away. All right. I hit a snag when I got here. When I taught this book before, people were hollering, whoa, 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 whoa. Now, why are we crying? Why are there tears? Why are God's people, why are they standing before God and they're bawling their eyes out? Okay, tell me, talk to me. Because the former things. Talk to me, Jake. Well, now wait a minute. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Okay. Okay, now we're at this point. Okay, but you got tears in your eyes. There ain't no old people up there.
Old people in old days that passed away, they're already in heaven, right?
Everybody, every Christian is in heaven.
Okay. If they're in heaven, who's going to be crying? And not the Christians, right?
Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. It's your, now this is discussion. Talk to me. What?
No, they'll be crying because their people's going on and they're left here, I think.
That they're what?
Their saved relatives has gone on, and they're still here on earth crying, weeping for them, so because they didn't get in. That's my personal thought.
Because they ain't supposed to be no tears in heaven. There's nothing.
They ain't supposed to be.
Where's John at? He says he sees the New Jerusalem coming down. So what perspective is John having as he sees this?
Now this is where we learn.
Did John always go back to earth, to heaven?
You got Jake tied in a knot right here.
Well, maybe they got tears because of his brightness. He's not
I want Delaney and this first row right here. I want them to jump in.
Well, we know the second death is coming. I mean, we don't have to read too many more verses to word of the second death. You know, I'd probably be bawling too if I was still there.
I was just waiting for him to bring up farther on, or one of somebody else. Had you read further on, I cannot get a church nowhere to continue to read.
At least we're consistent, right?
You are consistent. Why not just, this book is so much ahead of tomorrow. Look what it says. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain nor sorrow. Then he that sat. Now, okay, now the one that sat on the throne is no more than the Lord Jesus Christ. All right, and he said, and behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write. He's talking to John. And he said, for these words are true and faithful. All right. And then he said unto me, it is done. It's finished. There's no further. There's no digging in. There's no digging out. There's no getting in. There's no getting out. Okay? Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Here comes the branches. Here comes the creeks. Here comes the mascara flowing. There's no getting in. There's no getting out. They're in there. All right, but he said, I'm the beginning and the end, and I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of life, of water, the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. But, verse 8, but, boy, did God ever put a goat in there. Look what God put in here. Now, a squeaking hinge right in the middle will jerk a tear out of. Now, you're talking about a revival killer. This is one that'll get it done. Isn't that right, Jake? This will get her done. This is what I would to God churches would see. Farther on, let's go farther. Let's go farther on. Remember that old song? Farther on. All right? But the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable, he said, and the murderers and the whoremongers and the sorcerers and the idolaters and the all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is what? The second death. And here comes the tears, because he knows you youngins ain't going to make it in if they're not already in. It's a done deal.
Is that the one that we stand in and when they got?
Whoa. Let me stop you right there. I don't know if you're in line. I don't know where you're standing. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where you will be, but I'll probably be on my face, squalling my eyes out at the feet of the Lamb of God.
Is this when we see them be thrown into?
I don't know. I will not be the one that will answer that question. I don't know what I'll see and what I won't, but I'll tell you one thing. I guarantee you I'll be squalling at the feet of the Lamb of God. Because there'll be a lot of my loved ones. Lord have mercy, God. Look what he said. How many people's lied you? But but that's not the big point. How many people has come right up here and knelt down and cried out, oh, dear God, oh, preacher, if God would just save me. Oh, if God would just save me. I can name one right now. Was faithful here not too awful long ago. God has worked a miracle and I ain't seen him but one time since. I went to the hospital one night, 3:30 in the morning. Well, it's almost 3:30. It's a little after 3. They rolled him in and he was dying. They told him he probably wouldn't see his daylight. And you know him. You know him well. And he told me, promise me, preacher, stay with me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. And I called him by name. And I prayed out unto God and asked him to pray with me. And he swore I stayed to daylight. And he said, if you'll just stay with me, I promise you and I promise God, I'll be at the house of God from now on. If God will give me one more chance. He never came back to the house of God. But God honored him. I know to a family, a man and his wife, God took their baby out of their life because they used that young'un for an excuse. They come back once or twice after they took that little young'un to the graveyard. Never seen them again in the house of God. How many people's lied God? How many people's lied you? Look what he said. But he said in verse 9, and there came unto me one of the 7 angels. Now right here I want you to look. And he said, there came unto me, now one, he said, one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials. Now listen carefully. He said, full of the 7 L-A-S-T. Why are there tears? This is winding up. This is sending the bucket down the well for the last drop. And it said, with the last plagues, and he talked with me, saying, come hither, and I'm going to show you the bride, the Lamb's wife. I'm going to show you all of the ones that got in. I'm going to show you what it looks like to be saved. Now there's your glow. Right there's your glow. Boys, I read going over this evening. I'll tell you right now. Boy, I'll tell you, I could have took me 10 laps around the house. Boy, I tell you, you talk about a shining preacher, Gene, I'm going to tell you right now. You talking about a rainbow. Have you ever got out and just took a water hose, Delaney? Get out in the backyard. Get out in the backyard. I'm going to teach you something right here. Here, listen to me. Get the water hose. And don't open it wide up. But put it, screw it to where it'll sprinkle, make a big wide base of water. And turn it toward the sun and hold it up. And you can make a rainbow. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. You can take a water hose and boy, you can make a beautiful rainbow on certain days. But the thing about it, you can, if you look, it won't have all of the colors. It won't have it. But you can see the clouds. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to show you in just a minute. Just a minute. But the thing about it is, and there came one, he said, "Come hither, and I'm going to show you the Lamb's wife." Then he said, "And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great high mountain. And he showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God." Now, stay with me now, Fred, and I'm going to show you something right here. And you're going to understand what I said a minute ago about the earth. "Having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even a jasper stone, clear as crystal." You could see through it. Clear as crystal. You know why? We were on the inside looking out. But the thing about it, they were on the outside and they couldn't look in. Now stay with me. Stay with me. You got, and that'll help you understand the rest of this chapter. We're not going to be able to get it all tonight. But the thing about this thing, the size and the shape of this city, it has a lot to do with it. And the thing about it was, he said right here, let me read on down just a minute. We've got about 10 minutes. And he said, "And had a wall great and high." Great and high. All right? And the thing about it was the reflection. The reflection, and this wall is majestic. Majestic. The wall was not to keep nobody out or to keep nobody in. It was not for protection. It was for beautification. It was for the beauty of the city of God. And as we begin to learn, this Bible never ceases to amaze me. Every time I read it, every time I look in its, glory, Lord have mercy, hallelujah, God, they just, something in my shirt. And he said that a great wall high had 12 gates. And the gates had 12 angels. And the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. And on the east, 3 gates, and on the north 3 gates, and on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations. And in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Oh, dear God, wouldn't you love to just had your name down there? But I'll tell you what, I'm satisfied with having my name on the roll.
Amen.
Hey, I'm just satisfied having my name on the roll. I thought about that, and I thought, well, you stingy tightwad. You wanting more than you already got, and you got more than you ought to have anyway. Mike, you know what? Ain't that the way we are? That's the way we are. You know, we've already got more than we deserve. We deserve to go to hell. But, oh, thank God I don't have to go. Boy, I've read in here and reread in these old pages. I just had to get this old book back out. It just feels like home. And that new one just don't feel that good. And but anyhow, and it said, and he talked with me. Now, boy, can you imagine how John felt? And as I looked, and I've highlighted this in both of my Bibles, or all of them, I guess. I don't know. I've got several of them. But anyhow, but he said he had a golden reed, and he measured the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And I had to cheat a little bit, and I know y'all know what a mathematician is. It's an expert in math, arithmetic, if you please. All right, let me read you a little something. I asked both a mathematician and an engineer involved in the space program to determine what the circumference of a sphere would be. And both came up with the same answer: to enclose a cube. A cube. All right, and according to this, and the city, now look at verse number 16. And the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as a breadth. And he measured the city with a reed 12,000 furlongs, and the length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. And I run this through calculate everything, and then I begin to look in other places. And it said that the mathematician, he came up and he said to enclose a cube measuring, it's 1,500 miles. It's 1,500 miles, any way you go at it. Anyway, I'm talking about a born-again Christian mathematician. And he said, and on each side the circumference of the sphere would be about 8,164 miles. Now you think about this. Now this is suspended out in space. Suspended on its own. A new heaven and a new earth, a new place, a brand new place. It's not coming to Missouri like some of them said. All right, the diameter of the moon is how big? I'm going to give you something to compare it with. It is 2,160 miles. Okay? And that at New Jerusalem alone, by itself, if you set it aside, New Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven, is 2,600 miles. Is the way that he compared it. And that is larger than the moon. And as he began to, and he looked at this, and he gave this year, and he looked at that, and I began to think about it. And the wall of the city, and the walls were 144 cubits in height, or about 216 feet. And it said right here, and he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits according to the measure of man, and that is the angel, or it's about roughly, I've done the math, my math work, and it's roughly 250 feet. Doing roughly 18 inches to a cubit. And the thing about it was that what really got me was, and the building of the wall is of a jasper, and the city was pure gold like unto clear glass. All right? And when I began to look, what color is a jasper? And this really did. A jasper is clear. Jasper is a clear stone. And the thing about it is, as mentioned before, and it's really a diamond. A diamond. And any way you look at it, it's a clear stone. But the thing about it is, you can look at it from different angles, and you get a different look. But if you're looking at it from the inside, it's always clear. It's always clear. Why do women always want a diamond? They don't want a jasper. They want a diamond. They want that diamond. There were 12 stones. And God gave me the second one for my birthday. What color is a sapphire? Oh, look at my blue eyes. All right, we're going to get into those stones next week. Week after next. And when we look at those stones, I want you to study them because they have a great significance. And I want to hear your theology and your thinking on those stones. And why did God not place them into the city? Before we close out tonight, why didn't God put them inside the city? Why didn't God put them around His throne? Why didn't God put them around the chairs or the thrones where He was sitting? Or why didn't He put them around maybe the front of the altar or closer to where somewhere? Well, I'll just go ahead and do away with one of them. There are going to be no altars there because there are going to be no needs to pray. Right, but why did God? What is the significance of those stones being where they are? Huh? No, you did no. Gates are pearl. No, you just wait. You just think. You just keep your thoughts to yourself. Come back next week and mess my mind up. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you come back or week after next. We got revival next week.